This is Spain, brought to life on canvas by the genius of her great painters. Velázquez, El Greco, Goya, Murillo, and others. World-famous artists whose work I first saw in the art galleries and museums of my own country, then at the Louvre in Paris and the Prado in Madrid. I was young then, an aspiring artist in love with the color and romance I saw in the paintings of the Spanish masters. Through the years, memories faded and disappeared. But now, in the autumn of my life, those memories are made green again. A girl, my granddaughter Anne, takes me back more than 50 years. And I am young again, just out of college, as she is. My graduation gift to her is a trip to Spain. And on a fine summer's day, she arrives in Madrid to see the land I loved as a youth, to capture it on her drawing board and bring it home to me. Madrid itself can wait, for Anne is eager to see the heart of Spain first, its landscapes, the people and farms. And so she is off the next morning. Destination, the open countryside. The country she sees, in many respects, is no different from the Spain of my day. Lovely landscapes that have always been an artist's delight. Long, low valleys, whose slopes are decked with the dark green of beautiful olive groves. Through the years, the Spanish farmer has been left behind in the progress of modern agriculture. In certain sectors of the rural area, one does see occasional farm machinery in use, usually, however, of rather antiquated vintage. But for the most part, time seems to have stood still on many of these old farms. Anne, daughter of the 20th century, finds it all very picturesque, but a little sad. A remnant of a way of life out of a dim and distant past. She does in the backcountry, but is soon on her way to one of the showplaces of Spain, Spain. She finds ample subject material for her drawing board in this imposing structure, El Escorial, the great palace built by King Philip II almost 400 years ago, in the time of Spain's greatest glory as the most powerful nation in Europe. From Escorial, south to a place made memorable to every art lover by one of Spain's greatest artists, the city of Toledo, by El Greco. This is Toledo today, a venerable old city with a history that dates back to the time of Julius Caesar, whose legions made it an outpost of the ancient Roman Empire. For most visitors, and all artists, the cynosure of attention and interest in Toledo is this handsome estate. For this is Casa El Greco, where the great artist had his studio, maintained today in an excellent state of preservation. In the days when men and armies fought hand to hand, it was the wish of every nobleman in Europe to possess a sword and spurs from Toledo. For the metal craftsmen of Toledo from time immemorial have been past masters at their trade. It is fine precision work, which takes steady hands, deft fingers, and a knack which seems born in these people. Not far from the heart of the city is this heap of scorched ruins, no relic of ancient times, but a tragic reminder of the Spanish Civil War of the 1930s. Anne's bus rolls out of Toledo past ancient Puerta Bisagra, one of the many huge gates of the city. Her journey is to the south of Spain, from the high midland plateau of New Castile to the rolling hills and flatlands of the province of Andalusia. I say the word to myself, Andalusia. A soft, distant echo resounds deep within me, memorialized in color, line, and light. Dusty memories cloud my mind and fill my heart. Hand-painted fans, tambourines and castanets, mantillas and the dream of lovely women. I wonder if Anne sees today what I saw here almost a lifetime ago. If she is stirred emotionally, as I was, when I gazed out across these waters to the venerable old city of Cadiz. According to fanciful legend, Cadiz was founded by the Greek hero god Hercules. Historical fact, however, gives it a less exalted origin. A naval outpost of ancient Phoenicia and Carthage, almost 4,000 years ago. Modern Cadiz is a tranquil city of wide public squares and brilliant sunlight, fine old churches and magnificent museums, and a modern naval base. From Cadiz southward to the tip of Spain, and one of the most impressive sights of all time, the Rock of Gibraltar. This, of course, is British territory, the world's strongest fortress, standing guard at the western gateway to the Mediterranean. From Gibraltar to golden Granada, in the heart of Andalusia. Above the city, on its forest-covered hill, stands the Alhambra, once the fortress palace of the Moors. When I was here 50 years ago, the sightseer was allowed to wander around on his own. Nowadays, sightseeing is more organized and businesslike. Anne finds herself lost in a group of tourists, with a scholarly guide intoning the history of the Alhambra in a variety of languages. Here is the finest example of Moorish architecture in Spain, the Court of the Lions, retaining all its delicate oriental beauty of 7 centuries ago. The Andalusian gypsies need no formal or festive occasion as an excuse or reason for a round of dancing. For here in Andalusia is the heart of fabled Spain. Old Spain of song and story, where every day is a holiday. If you are a gypsy in Andalusia, you and your friends dance whenever you feel like it, out of sheer high spirits, or the need to express something deep inside of you. But it's fun for everyone, dancers and onlookers alike. A few minutes of gaiety and rhythm and spontaneous outburst of your love of life. Before leaving Andalusia for Madrid, there's a side trip to take, a visit to one of Spain's great bull breeding farms. These are the bulls that will face the sword in the rings of Madrid, Seville, Barcelona, Valencia, and 100 other cities and towns in Spain. Only the best young bulls are marked for future glory and death in the ring. For these fighting bulls, it is a good life, but a short one. It is the siesta time of day, and the streets of Madrid are nearly empty. Government buildings, offices, banks, and shops are closed. But around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the city begins to bestir itself. Taxi cabs, private cars, and trolley cars are rolling again. At the Atocha station, one of Spain's modern streamlined express trains pulls out on a cross-country run. The Civil Guards of Spain. This mounted contingent on its way from headquarters, duty-bound to posts at key places in the city. The Civil Guards on foot, policeman or martinet, one or the other, or both, depending on the call of duty. Here at the official inspection lineup, he is the stony-faced guardian of the law, solemn and stiff as he takes the salute and receives his assignment for the day. This is the fast and furious game of high alai, known in Spain as pelota. It requires plenty of wall space, a trained agility of body, a quick eye, speed and endurance beyond the capacity of most men. In Spain and the Latin American countries, it is a favorite gambling sport, the fastest ball game in the world. La Corrida, national pastime of Spain, matching the skill and courage of man against the brute strength of the wild bull. To the ardent lovers of the sport, the aficionados, there is no pageantry more thrilling than the pomp and ceremony of the opening procession. No greater excitement than the fight that is to follow. No more exalted hero than the star matador, killer of the brave bull. In the stands, more than 50,000 Spanish aficionados and one nervous American girl. Great moment. The bull is loosed from the toril and charges into the ring. For these first few moments, monarch of all he surveys. The peons go to work with their capes, executing short passes so the matador can study the movements of the bull. Now the tercio of the pikes, picador on padded horse to tire the bull and rouse his anger. The tercio of the banderillos. Again, the banderillas. Then the final tercio. Appearance of the matador with the muleta and the sword, in the ring alone to meet and conquer his mortal enemy. But Anne feels she has had enough of bullfighting for one afternoon. With an amused but sympathetic Spanish friend, she goes in search of refreshment, something cool, like the spring water sold on the street corner by the Spanish water vendor. But it takes a little practice, as Anne finds out. One last glimpse of Spain, a vivid memory to carry home in the swirl of skirts and the clicking of castanets. This, over and above all else, is the Spain of romantic song and legend. Through the centuries, from the ancient days of Spanish glory into the modern era, the dance remains unchanged, communicating to the onlooker the verve and vivacity of the dancer. The pride and passion I remember as the tradition and heritage of old Spain.